Before we go back to Ned, we want to quickly update you on the damage reports that are coming into the Channel 7 newsroom at this hour. Harvest Foods in Little Rock at 17th and Main, we're told it has sustained heavy damage. People are reportedly trapped inside, and injuries are reported as well there. We have a crew en route, and of course the fire officials are sending their rescue crews there too. At 9th and the Freeway, a Pizza Hut has sustained some damage. A Red Roof Inn, a Waffle House in that area as well. We're told that the lights are dark on both sides of 630 out by the freeway there. That is coming in from our Channel 7 Steve Powell, who has reported the power outage. Now also at I-30 and 9th, some heavy damage to the street. And we have also had two reports from Gaines on South Gaines Street of a car entrapment. Someone trapped inside of a car and a home that has collapsed. Now we want to go to Ned for a new warning that's coming in. Ned, what do you have?
And we got another. Thank you, Karen. We've got several warnings to go over that have just come in again. Independence County and Jackson County, they've had at least 3 or 4 tornadoes, possible tornadoes, touch down in the area. We don't have any reports of any injuries or damage there yet, but again, we do have a brand new tornado warning, and this is in effect for Independence and Jackson County in the vicinity of Alonza. Let's take a look at live Doppler 7 radar, and we will show you where that thunderstorm is. It is located just south of the Batesville area, about 30 miles west of Newport, or about 8 miles south of Alonza. It's moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. It's moving northeast at 45 miles an hour, and it will be moving into an areas such as Pleasant Plains, Salado, Rosie, Oil Trough, Magnus, and Sulphur Rock by about 7:45 tonight. Again, a very strong thunderstorm also in Jackson County that we're looking at. So Jackson and Independence County in eastern Arkansas under tornado warnings. This storm in Jackson County is moving northeast at about 45 miles per hour. It's in the vicinity of Beadville, and it's moving toward Balch, Waldenburg, Fisher, all in the path of the storm, and Wiener as it continues to track northeast at approximately 45 miles per hour. That is Independence and Jackson County. Also, what we're looking at for later on tonight is thunderstorms beginning to redevelop in western Arkansas, and that's not a good sign because these supercells moving over the same areas of central Arkansas, we have redevelopment in western Arkansas and eastern sections of Oklahoma. Franklin County that you're looking at right there, just north of Boonville, a tornado warning is now in effect for Franklin County. Storm spotters reported a tornado just west of Bloomer. Radar showed this tornadic storm moving northeast at approximately 30 miles per hour. The track of this storm will take it toward Branch, Radcliffe, also into Webb City, Ozark, and Denning. So that is in southern sections of Franklin County. We have additional reports of damage coming in. The 2600 block of South Ringo, strong winds have damaged a house there. This is in the Little Rock area where, by the way, a tornado warning remains in effect for Pulaski County until 7:35. The 2600 block of South Ringo in Pulaski County, strong winds have damaged a house in that location. 3201 West 65th Street, a car accident has occurred due to high winds in that area. That is from the tornadoes that moved through the Little Rock area as well. We can see, zooming out a little bit, in the areas of Hot Springs all the way down into Clark County.
Video from 17th?
We do have additional thunderstorms that are moving up and parallel to Interstate 30. These thunderstorms, the strongest right now, are occurring in northern Clark County, and also thunderstorms, believe it or not, redeveloping in Saline County. We have additional damage reports and some of our first video coming in for you, and I would like to now bring back in Karen Fuller, who is live in our studio. Karen.
All right, Ned, thank you. We are getting some first pictures in now from 17th and Main. A reminder, this is unedited video you're seeing of the Harvest Foods at 17th and Main in Little Rock. Unedited video, so bear with us as far as the content goes, but you can see the damage, the pieces of wood strewn about in the parking lot. The authorities are on the scene and have been there since the call came in that possibly people were trapped inside. We have heard some reports of injuries, but that is unconfirmed. We're waiting for word from the scene. You can see that the storm continues. The rain is continuing to fall, but not quite as severe, and no hail appears to be coming down at this hour. This is 17th and Main at the Harvest Foods in Little Rock. Other reports coming in around as you take a look at the building. The structure looks completely demolished, you might say. The wood has collapsed, the ceiling is drooping. We are hoping that folks are not in there, but our camera is showing you at least the damage from the outside. Now, as the night goes along, we'll get word from authorities on any injuries of possibly folks who were in the store at the time the storm hit. That was earlier this evening. Blew in quite quickly, and strong winds, as any of you know who are witnessing storms in your area know, the winds can go anywhere above 40 to perhaps 70 miles an hour. It looks as if they're trying to take stock of what is available to them in terms of what they can get to. The damage appears to be extensive at this Harvest Foods, but this is not the only report. We'll let you continue to look at the video and let you know some of the other damage reports that are coming in. Ned mentioned one on South Ringo, a home damaged there. 2 incident reports on South Gaines in Little Rock. We're told that a house has collapsed. At 2425 South Gaines, there was a car entrapped by a tree, and a person rather inside the car, where a tree has fallen upon the car. You can see the extent of the damage at the Harvest Foods. It looks as if a brick wall has fallen. Groceries strewn about. Again, we're hoping and praying that there are no folks trapped inside and no injuries coming out of that, but we did hear early reports of that and are waiting to get that confirmed from the authorities on the scene. We're told other spots of damage along I-30 and 440, some signs blown into the highways. As you know, this is not the night to be traveling, but if you are out there or must leave, please be aware that some of the highways may have some damage from debris strewn about. For instance, those signs blown into the highway along I-30 and 440. I-30 westbound, the Arch Street overpass, we're told an 18-wheeler has overturned there. Reports coming in from Sardis and Saline County. Heavy damage reported to us by the Saline County Sheriff's Department. A home has caught fire. In Jefferson County, near Pastoria, South Pack Road, we're told a home has been destroyed, and there is one minor injury associated with that. The cleanup has already begun at the Harvest Foods at 17th and Main. These are early pictures coming in, unedited video, a reminder. As you'll notice, we've not seen an ambulance on site, so perhaps if there were injuries, they have since been taken to the hospital, or in the best case scenario, no one has been hurt. This storm moved through the downtown Little Rock area quickly. I had told you earlier about some damage reports coming in from the central Little Rock area around 9th and the freeway. A Pizza Hut in that area damaged. A Red Roof Inn, also the Waffle House, sustained damage. We are efforting pictures for you as quickly as we can. Our crews have been all about the state, targeting those hardest hit areas. But Little Rock, again, did not escape without any damage, as you just saw from the Harvest Foods. Now we will just bring you up to date on what's going on. We have had other damage reports that I can tell you about as well. We are told that a witness is joining us by telephone. This happens to be David Jones, who actually works for Channel 7. David, are you there?
I'm here, Karen.
Tell us about where you are and what you're seeing.
Well, I'm around the Arch and Main Street area at about 1800, Karen, and there's devastation all over. Houses have 100-plus-year-old trees on top of them. Gas lines and mains are broken. Water lines, water gushing from the ground. A lot of electric lines down as well. We have police down here trying to route traffic around, Karen, but a lot of the drivers are really exceeding the speed limit. I've seen close to 12 people almost plummet head-on into down telephone poles, with officers trying to guide them out of the way. So it's a mess, and I would advise people to stay clear, Karen.
David, can you tell us if any of the street lights are working? Is there power out there?
No, power is down in the area. Street lights are out. we have some large trucks that happen to be passing by, like water-carrying vehicles and things that are in position trying to shed some light for the officers to work and guide traffic. And that's about all we have right now, Karen.
All right, David, we're going to keep you for a moment. Our viewers at home are watching unedited video coming in from the Harvest Foods at 17th and Main, also hit hard by the storm that blew through that you witnessed the damage of over where you are. So once again, David, tell our viewers where you're located and again, tell us about any damage you're seeing in that area.
100 block. What I've done is I've walked from that area up to about 22nd over to Main. The whole 2, 3, 4 block area, if it hadn't sustained a tornado, is sustained really high winds. Some roofing materials blown around, power lines down. We have light posts down, gas mains broken. Very bad area to be in right now, Karen.
All right, David Jones, we thank you so much for your participation. And if you do see anything else that you believe our viewers would need to be aware of, please call us back. In just a few moments, we're going to go to our Steve Powell, who has been out and about tonight. He had reported the power out along I-630. As a reminder, please don't get out if you don't have to. But of course, some of you may in fact have to. And we understand that, but just want you to be safe. I-30 and 9th Street, some heavy damage to the streets. We had an earlier report of signs blown into the highways at I-30 and 440. Here you're seeing our weather cam perspective. Not much lightning anymore. Hopefully this storm is on its way out. This is our live weather cam from the Regions Bank building. Still some lightning lingering in the area. Now we have with us Steve Powell. Steve, tell us where you are and what you're seeing.
Karen, I am on the Main Street Harvest Food, or what's left of the Main Street Harvest Food. This is some major damage. I don't know if you can still hear me, but I am standing where the checkouts used to be, the checkout lines used to be. They are no longer there. I'm standing under rainy skies. There's no roof. Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine. In fact, Steve, our viewers are still seeing video of the damage from where you are, your approximate location. Can you tell us if anyone was injured?
Well, I'm certain there are people injured. We've seen the ambulances carry out several people. The co-workers here are busily counting each other, trying to see who's still missing. Police and rescue officials are still frantically going down what used to be the aisles. I'm sitting here looking at down what just a pile of foodstuffs everywhere. I can see Ritz crackers boxes and Coke cases just scattered everywhere. There's literally no roof. There's a brick wall in front that is just caved directly into the building. It's phenomenal. The people inside said they got little to no warning other than the siren that was going outside. They don't know if they've found all of each other or not.
Steve, we can see that brick wall that you just mentioned. It's phenomenal to look at. It's frightening, and it is spectacular in the amount of damage that occurred so quickly. But again, our main concern is to find out. We had an earlier report that folks may be trapped inside. Any idea on that quickly?
Well, frankly, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Again, they can hardly get back to what was the back of the store. And you know, this entire block is obviously knocked out with power. And there's no telling how much damage is on either side of where I'm standing. It's only going to be worse, I'm afraid, as it gets lighter tomorrow.
All right, Steve, we're going to ask you if your cellular phone will allow and the signal stays strong to stay with us. Okay. First, though, we're going to check in with Ned on the very latest on the weather situation. Ned, what do you have?
Okay, thank you, Karen. We still have numerous tornado warnings that are in effect. And again, what we're going to do is zoom into the central Arkansas area because Pulaski County still is under a tornado warning until 7:35, so just a few more minutes for Pulaski County. The latest one and the strongest one that we have is for Independence and Jackson County. Once again, we'll show that to you. But right now you're looking at the metropolitan Little Rock area on live Doppler 7 radar. And again, strong thunderstorms. These are damaging thunderstorms, as you can see. Incredible damage that has been reported in through the Little Rock area, not only in Little Rock, but also into and around the central Arkansas area. This storm that we're looking at now is in Jackson County. This is just to the east of the Newport area and southeast of Tuckerman. It is moving toward the northeast and will be possibly approaching the Jonesboro area. So again, Jackson County, this storm is moving out of Independence County, and this storm will remain in effect it looks like till 8 o'clock tonight, until 8 o'clock. Cities affected by this storm in Jackson County include Grubbs, Uno, Pitts, Cache, Otwell by 7:51, and by 7:55, Gibson, Arkansas. Now let's move down Interstate or Highway 67, 167 again into the metropolitan area. That's where we still have incredible thunderstorms that are not only possibly tornado producers, but we also have the possibility for large hail and intense cloud-to-ground lightning. Let's go right into the Little Rock metropolitan area if we could. We'll center up on Little Rock because, as you can see, we still have very strong thunderstorms tracking out of Saline County and also into and through the Little Rock area. A tornado warning is in effect for Craighead County, also has just been issued, and for western Poinsett County in northeastern Arkansas until 8:20. In the Little Rock area between Jacksonville, downtown Little Rock, and all the way to just about 14 miles northeast of the Benton area, some very strong thunderstorm cells. Again, this thunderstorm is that we're zooming in now is the same thunderstorm that's moving into Craighead County and Poinsett County out of Jackson County. So that's part of the Jackson County storm that is heading toward the Jonesboro area. Jonesboro possibly will be hit by this tornado-producing thunderstorm by just after 8 o'clock. So Craighead and western Poinsett County until 8:20, a tornado warning is in effect there. This is the storm that's moving out of Jackson and did move out of Independence County earlier. So these storms are racing toward the northeast at approximately 45 miles per hour. As I mentioned, not only in the Little Rock area are we getting the pictures and the dramatic results of the tornado activity that you saw earlier, and we'll be going back to Karen momentarily to update you on the central Arkansas area, but also Faulkner County authorities say that they have confirmed 6 injuries as a result of storms in the Mount Vernon and Hull Mountain areas, which is near the White County line, which is very near the White County, Faulkner County line. Tornado touched down in an area, destroyed a house. At least 6 injuries have been reported. Also, I want to now go into Ashley and Chico County, and what we're looking at is a tornado-producing thunderstorm. This is coming to us from the Weather Service in Jackson, Mississippi. Until 8:05, we have a tornado warning for eastern Ashley and Chico County. These thunderstorms are moving again toward the northeast at 45 miles per hour. Will be affecting Chico, Jenny, Fairview, Lakeport, Shives, and Refuge, Arkansas. That is south of the Lake Village area. Besides what we have going on with these tornado-producing thunderstorms, we also have, I do want to mention to everyone out there, a flash flood watch that has been issued that covers much of Arkansas, especially the central Arkansas area, because the problem that we're looking at are these thunderstorms clearly have been moving over the same general area throughout the nighttime hours. They've been moving parallel to Interstate 30 throughout the nighttime hours. And because of the heavy rains being produced by these thunderstorms over the same general area, we have a flash flood watch that will be in effect for much of Arkansas. And now flash flood warnings are in effect. I'm going to give these to you. Flash flood warnings are in effect for Independence, Cleburne, Faulkner, White, Garland, Saline, Pulaski, Clark, and Hot Spring County. Because these thunderstorms have been producing heavy rains over the same area for long periods of time, flash flood warnings are now in effect for Independence, Cleburne, Faulkner, White, Garland, Saline, Pulaski, Clark, and Hot Spring County, pretty much the same counties that tornado warnings have been issued for. That's the latest overall look at our live Doppler 7 statewide view. Also, keep in mind that we are watching redeveloping thunderstorms in through eastern Oklahoma and western Arkansas that will be moving into the state later on tonight. So we are not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination. We're just, our crews are just bringing to light the severity of these thunderstorms in and around central and southwestern and northeastern Arkansas. And right now we're going to go back to Karen Fuller, who is in our news studio, and again will bring us up to date with the latest video that we have from our crews and also the latest in damage reports. Karen?
Ned, while we have you with us one more time, you showed us that the redeveloping storms off to the west in the Fort Smith area. Does it look like that could possibly expand to be as large of a line as we've been seeing all night here?
I think what we're looking at out in western Arkansas is a vigorous upper level system that is coming out of the southwestern United States. And what I'll do is, if I could, I'm going to try in just a moment to advance some of my maps here and show you a regional picture, because I think that's going to give you a better overlay. And Jeff, you can let me know when we get the regional display up on here. What that is an upper level system coming out of Texas, and that's what we thought would really help to destabilize and energize these thunderstorms. And that is going to be moving through later on tonight, and that's where we're seeing some of the thunderstorms redeveloping in through Oklahoma and northeastern Texas and Louisiana. And by the way, they are also under tornado watches tonight. So we could take regional radar right now, and we'll show you on our map that we do have these thunderstorms redeveloping. And to get back to your question, even though the most intense thunderstorms are in central Arkansas and continue in a line from near the Texarkana area all the way up to Mountain Home, this redeveloping area is caused by the upper level disturbance, which I think what it will do in any case, Karen, is help to push some of these thunderstorms in central Arkansas eastbound a little bit faster, but also will help to keep the thunderstorms very intense. So let me say that again. The thunderstorm activity that you're seeing redeveloping in Oklahoma and western Arkansas will help to eventually push some of these thunderstorms eastward a little bit faster, but also keep them very intense for the next several hours. So we have a very serious and, as we've been mentioning, a very volatile situation, especially for this time of year. Hope that answers your question. Now, why don't you try to bring us up to date on some of the damage reports coming in?
And I certainly will. We are going to take our viewers now back out to 17th and Main to the Harvest Foods, where our Steve Powell is standing by. Steve, I understand you have a guest with you.
Hi, Karen. Yes, in fact, the Little Rock Search and Rescue has just gotten here and turned on a huge spotlight. They do have one person still trapped in the building, and they are feverishly working to try to get that person out of there. I'm with Alita, who works in the deli here, who was here when it hit. And Alita, not a lot of warning, was there?
No warning. The siren was sounding. We had no warning. We just had a lot of noise, and then we just ran straight to the basement. And then we had a little tumble trying to get in the basement because there's a code on the door that we have to push. So everybody was trying to push it at the same time. We couldn't get the door open. So we finally, by the time we got the door open, everybody just rushed in, and then that's when the tornado hit, and the ceiling just flew off.
You are here huddling with your co-workers, hoping that everyone is out of there. Are you concerned that there's other people in there?
Yes, I am. I'm concerned.
It's been a tough time for these folks. Obviously, there are people walking up. I don't know earlier if you heard, Karen, people literally coming up, seeing this scene, dropping to their knees and weeping at the sight of what they've seen out here. We saw, of course, the March 1st tornadoes of a year ago. This equals that, if not worse.
Steve, you're certainly right. To look at that picture, it gives you a queasiness in your stomach, really, just to think about what has gone on and the poor folks there. And that is only one small example of the extensive damage that has been reported throughout the state tonight. And again, we are in the middle of it. This is not over by any stretch of the imagination as it moves northeast. And again, Ned mentioned the line from Texarkana all the way up into northeast Arkansas. Steve, are you able to find out about the person inside? Are they able to at least talk to this person?
I cannot get up to that part. I know that they are in a corner of the building in which there's still a small area of the building still standing. Police are pushing us back right now, but we're trying to see there. I see at least probably a dozen workers trying to free the person. It looks like it's in the pharmacy area of the building that they're trying desperately to claw their way down into to see if the person, hopefully they're communicating with them. Our photographer, Jim Casey, is in that area, and possibly when he gets back, we can give you some more information.
All right, Steve, stand by, please. And we do thank you for the update from that witness who told us exactly what happened when it hit, trying to get to the basement, but having to press a code on the door to get it open to get to safety in the basement. So the Harvest Foods, 17th and Main, one person still trapped inside. There are crews on the scene trying to get that person free. We will have an update with Steve as the information becomes available to us. Two new pieces of information to tell you about. At 317 West 21st Street in Little Rock, we're told that there is a person trapped in a house. A tree fell on the house, trapping the person inside. 317 West 21st Street. On I-40, we're told 5 trucks have overturned near exit 161, and that is, of course, just east of Little Rock. On I-40, 5 trucks overturned. If you must get out, bear that in mind and perhaps take an alternate route. Now you're looking at our weather cam picture, and keeping in mind the radar that Ned showed us before, there are some storms still in the area, heavy winds. No hail reports coming in at this time in the Little Rock area, but perhaps where you are, you may be seeing some. In Faulkner County, reports of baseball-sized hail came in to us earlier this evening. Some debris reported strewn about at 33rd and Cross. Little Rock police reported a sighting of a funnel cloud on the ground. That was earlier this evening at the 7 o'clock hour. A touchdown reported near Clarendon in Monroe County, and a tractor trailer overturned in Clay County, a home destroyed in Lace, and also extensive damage reported near the Lace area in Greene County between Delaplane and Lace. Back here in Little Rock, bringing you up to date. Extensive damage at the Waffle House, the Pizza Hut, the Red Roof Inn in the area of 9th and the freeway. Power outages reported along 630 as well on either side. And you have seen the video from earlier this evening at the Harvest Foods. As you might imagine, we have been through this before with you March 1st of last year. We are unfortunately well aware of the damage that can be caused by such storms and the injuries that will no doubt be coming in as the night progresses. We hope that you'll stay with us and we'll continue to update you. We do have some new information coming in to the studio now. In Piggott, we're told that the airport there has been destroyed. No doubt it is a smaller airport in that area in Piggott. We had damage reports coming in from Piggott earlier this evening, and now we can tell you we have confirmed the airport in Piggott has been destroyed. More video, more of this powerful video from 17th and Main at the Harvest Foods. We are going to get an update from Ned in just a few moments because, again, we are still in this storm system and more coming off to the west in the Fort Smith region. Let's join now with more. Ned.
Okay, thank you, Karen. We have a brand new tornado warning that has just been issued, and this one is for White County. White County, a tornado warning has just been issued. Also, in the central Arkansas area, in Saline, in Pulaski County, and in Lonoke County, severe thunderstorm warnings remain in effect for Pulaski County and Lonoke County. Now, in the metropolitan area, in Saline, in Pulaski, in Lonoke County, we have right now no tornado warnings in effect at the present time. Let me say that again. Saline, Pulaski, and Lonoke County are no longer under a tornado warning. However, you are still under a severe thunderstorm warning, and conditions are extremely favorable for tornado development. So just because there is no tornado warning in effect at the present time, we still want to have you stay very attuned to changing weather in your vicinity and move to a safe place if necessary. That's in Pulaski and Lonoke County. So severe thunderstorm warnings remain in effect. Let's go up to White County right now. We have a brand new tornado warning in effect for White County. 6 miles southwest of Searcy, or about 5 miles southwest of Bigginson. We are seeing a possible thunderstorm producing a tornado moving northeast 45, as all of these thunderstorms have throughout the afternoon and evening hours. Until 7, just before 10 minutes till 7, Higginson, and then right after that, Searcy will be affected. Kensett, Judsonia, Plainview, Providence will be affected by this storm as it continues to move northeastward right along Highway 67, 167. So that's the latest that we have, the latest tornado warning, and this is in effect for White County until 8:30 tonight. And we are going to zoom in a little bit further and show you this storm is approaching the Searcy area. It is right along Highway 67, 167, will be affecting Searcy, Kensett, Judsonia, and Bald Knob as well as it continues to move through. Very strong thunderstorms are going to be occurring, a very strong thunderstorm cell with lightning. Let's go ahead and zoom in and see if we can get some closer areas in here. Judsonia, Searcy being affected right now with that last scan, that last volume scan that moved through. Highway 67, 167, and This storm is moving toward the northeast. To give you a vantage point there, that is Highway 67 right there. And this road running through Searcy is unnamed right now. But you can see right through Searcy, Kensett, moving toward Judsonia and Bald Knob. Take cover immediately, because this is a tornado warning for White County, moving through this general area. Let's go ahead and zoom out, and again, want to reiterate that White County under a warning, Pulaski, Lono County under severe thunderstorm warnings. And what is starting to come in right now that we're very concerned about as well are numerous flash flood warnings. Numerous flash flood warnings are coming in for the central Arkansas area because of all of the heavy rains that have been generated by these thunderstorms. We have flash flooding conditions that are now being reported in areas such as Independence County, Cleburne County, Faulkner County, White County, where that tornado warning is in effect, Garland, Saline County, Pulaski County, Clark, and Hot Spring County. So the areas shaded in purple now are under flash flood warnings. Several of these thunderstorms, according to Doppler estimates, have produced 2 to 3 inches of rain that have fallen over the warned area in a very short period of time. So flash flooding is likely. Again, some very strong thunderstorms. Right now, these are not tornado-producing thunderstorms, but conditions are favorable in the Pulaski-Lono County area for tornadoes to occur. Although Pulaski County and Lono County are not under tornado warnings right now, I don't want anyone in the metropolitan area to get their guard down. What we're looking at over the next hour or so are additional thunderstorms developing down through Garland County and in through northern Clark County near the Arkadelphia area. We have very strong thunderstorms there that we're looking at. And these thunderstorms are riding up from Texarkana through Arkadelphia, Clark County, Hot Spring County, all the way into the Little Rock, central Arkansas area. The latest map that we have continues to show tornado watch in effect. Tornado watch in effect for all of the state throughout the nighttime hours. This is until 10, but obviously it will be extended beyond that time. Severe thunderstorm warnings for Lonoke, Pulaski, Saline, Hot Spring County. Tornado warnings now are confined to the northeastern part of the state. White County, Cleburne County, Independence, Jackson, Poinsett County. Also Craighead, Greene, Lawrence, and Clay County. Weather-wise, we are looking at additional redevelopment in eastern Arkansas right now. Not strong enough to warrant severe weather or severe weather warnings yet, but we are going to continue to watch areas like Arkansas County and as well as Phillips County and Lee County. That's where we're zooming in right now. These thunderstorms are not severe, but they could become severe in just a matter of minutes. So we will continue to monitor here on radar, and right now we'd like to take you back to Karen Fuller, who's standing by live in our studio as additional information and additional damage reports and video is coming in. Karen?
That's right, Ned. Thank you. We'll check back in with you shortly. New video coming in to us now from Jefferson County, where we told you earlier this evening near Pastoria on South Pack Road, a home has been destroyed, and we were also informed that one minor injury was reported associated with this. Looking at the video, it's hard to believe a minor injury is all that occurred when you look at the damage. This was a home destroyed on South Pack Road. I believe if that's the same report we had earlier, near Pastoria in Jefferson County. Not too far away in Saline County. I'll continue to update you as you look at this new video coming in. Heavy damage reported to us in that area. The Saline County Sheriff's Department reported one home on fire. So far yet, we've not determined exactly how much damage from storms there was, but a house caught on fire in Saline, and that was in Saline County, and some damage reported in Sardis County. This is, as you look at this, reminiscent of March 1st. Folks in Jefferson County may not have had as much damage as people, for instance, in Clark County and Arkadelphia, but it is all the same. Devastation anywhere you look at it. A home completely gone. One minor injury reported with that one, we're told, and we'll again try and confirm that for you to make sure that no other more serious injuries were reported. Another home collapsed in Little Rock on South Gaines Street, we're told. Also, 317 West 21st Street in Little Rock. A person trapped in a house after a tree fell on that house. And as you heard earlier, the Piggott Airport destroyed. This is obviously a gentleman who's packing up what he has, trying to begin the process of cleaning up. Of course, it's dark. The power is out. Power is out also along portions of 630. Bear that in mind. Also on I-40, 5 trucks have overturned near the exit 161 just east of Little Rock. Also, more injuries confirmed in Greenbrier in Faulkner County, Mount Vernon, Hull Mountain area near the White County line. And as Ned mentioned, tornado warning issued for White County as well in the last few minutes. But no tornado warnings right now in Saline, Pulaski, and I believe Faulkner County was what Ned had mentioned. Pardon me, Saline, Pulaski, and Lonoke County. No tornado warnings at this hour. That was as of 7:45. Take a look at this home. This is Pastoria in Jefferson County. The storms continue to move along a line north of Texarkana, moving northeast. We hope that for those folks, the worst is past. As we continue this evening with our coverage, we'll get an up damage in Pastoria. Let's head back out now to the Harvest Foods at 17th and Main, where Steve Powell is standing by. What's the latest out there?
Well, Karen, I'm glad to report that the person who was trapped has been taken out of the building on what was really a makeshift gurney on a shopping cart. But from what I could tell, he was alert. He was moving. He was talking to the rescue people, and hopefully he'll be okay. I also had a chance to walk down a portion of Main Street here, and I can tell you some of these beautiful old homes that line the street have taken some severe damage. There's damage to the Southside Station Post Office across the street from the Harvest Foods, as you might imagine. And as is the nature with tornadoes, there are some houses that look virtually unscathed and others virtually brought to their knees. So, again, glad to report the guy, I believe it was a man who was taken out of the pharmacy section of the Harvest Foods, appeared to be alert and awake and talking to the rescue people. He has since been transported to the hospital, so let's hope he's okay, Karen.
We're pleased with that report, and now we want to catch you up to date on more weather developing out there. Ned, what's the latest?
Thank you, Karen. We have a brand new tornado warning. They have been coming in all afternoon, starting at about 3:30, and they have been continuous throughout the evening hours. This one is for Greene County in northeastern Arkansas. As we take a look at live Doppler 7 radar, and we will show you that we do have numerous thunderstorms. A lot of them are lining up the interstate, Interstate 30, from southwest into central Arkansas. This storm is located near Cache, Arkansas, which is just south of Jonesboro. As a matter of fact, that is, if you remember, from Sunday and Monday when the tornadoes touched down Sunday afternoon in Independence and Jackson County. One of the pieces of video that we had for you, that we showed those tornadoes, was located near Cache. Ironically, here we have another tornado located near Cache, Arkansas, just south of the Jonesboro area. It's moving toward the northeast at 45 miles an hour. And this will be moving toward Bono and Laredo, Brookland, Walcott, and Bethel, as well as eventually toward Paragould and Marmaduke as it continues to track toward the northeast. That will be tracking into and through Greene County out of Craighead County in the vicinity of Jonesboro. This shows you the storm is now just north of Cache, and as I mentioned, ironically, that's the same area that the tornado touched down last Sunday afternoon. And now here we go again with another tornado producing thunderstorm possibly moving through the same area in a vicinity that will take it near Jonesboro. The severe thunderstorm with the tornado was indicated 7 miles southwest also of Lake Village. So we will go down into southeastern Arkansas. A possible tornado indicated 7 miles southwest of Lake Village, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. And that storm will be moving toward Greenville, Mississippi. A funnel cloud was reported 10 miles southwest of Lake Village. Baseball-size hail is possible with this thunderstorm. It's moving toward Greenville, Mississippi, and on into Mississippi out of the Lake Village area. Some other damage reports as we take an overview of radar, and eventually we will also take a map that will show you the warnings that we have in effect right now. Funnel clouds today were reported near Monroe County, inch hail at Conway. Tornado was reported at Clarendon in Monroe County. Don't have any reports of injuries or damage out of there. A tornado at Oil Trough in Independence County. Vehicles were blown off the road, possible injuries. Tornado was reported just south of Brinkley in Monroe County earlier today. inch and 3/4 inch hail also near Brinkley. Funnel clouds near Whitehall in Jefferson County where tornado damage was occurring. And we have a tornado in White County near Center Hill where one death has apparently occurred. That is in Center Hill in White County. Apparently, we do have one death reported with that storm. In Jefferson County near Samples, tornado damaged buildings. Trees were blown down at the Pine Bluff Arsenal as well. In central Arkansas, still severe thunderstorm warnings remain in effect for Pulaski County and Lonoke County. Pulaski County and Lonoke County until 8:25. Very strong thunderstorms continue to move into and through the metropolitan Little Rock area all the way up to Searcy, and that is where the tornado warning takes over. Tornado warning is in effect for White County, and the White County tornado warning also is in effect until 8:30 tonight. Weather-wise, that's the latest that we have for you at the present time. You can see the thunderstorms lined up from Sherwood through Jacksonville, Cabot, Beebe. These are hail-producing, wind damage-producing, and frequent cloud-to-ground lightning-producing thunderstorms. And just north of that, between Searcy and Bald Knob, is where we have a possible tornado-producing thunderstorm. And for White County until 8:30, a tornado warning is in effect. Once again, we also want to reiterate that we do have flash flood watches and flash flood warnings that remain in effect for a good portion of central Arkansas. The areas that have received the heavy rains today have received anywhere between 2 and 3 inches. Rains coming down over the same general area, so flash flood warnings for Cleburne, Faulkner, White, Garland, Saline, Pulaski, Clark, and Hot Spring County. That's the latest we have for you. Additional information is coming in, and we will go back now, if we could, live to Karen Fuller, who is in our studio.
Ned, at this point, are you able to tell us any estimates of perhaps how much rain has fallen with that flooding? It must be several inches.
Downtown here, I'll just tell you, in our weather center, we've now, last time I reported was about 45 minutes ago, we had 9/100 of an inch of rain. We now have 1 1/10. So we have really had a downpour in the downtown area. So we have over 1 1/10 of rain here in the downtown area. And that was out of the thunderstorms that moved through that produced the tornado damage that we saw earlier. So the heavy rains do continue. And again, in the same general area, not only here, but throughout central and into southwestern Arkansas, where those thunderstorms are moving right along Interstate 30, anywhere between 2 and 3 inches of rain have occurred over a short period of time. And not only that, over the same general area over a long period of time during the afternoon hours, and that has now brought us into an additional problem tonight with flash flooding. So it's a dangerous night for travel anywhere around the state of Arkansas. Karen?
And once again, Ned, real quickly, the situation in northeast Arkansas looks severe right now. They've got several tornado warnings up there. Do you think these storms may actually lessen in intensity as they move on out?
If we can get them to move out. That's the problem. These thunderstorms are moving fast. They're moving. You've heard us saying over and over again that over the nighttime that we have had these thunderstorms moving northeast at 45 miles an hour, northeast at 40 miles an hour. But the problem is the whole area. As we take a look at live Doppler 7 radar, we'll be able to explain this a little bit better. As we take a look at radar, what I'll do is kind of to give you an example of this, I'm going to show you that each of these individual thunderstorm cells, like here in southwestern Arkansas, these are all moving toward the northeast at 45 miles an hour. That's true, but they have not been moving at all toward the east out of the area. So these thunderstorms here lining up in the same general area have just been racing along the same line, but have not been kicking out or moving to the east away from the area. And so that is why we're seeing a lot of problems tonight with not only the tornadoes over and tornado warnings over the same general areas, but we're seeing the rain now piling up quite a bit. Also, we are still looking at this redeveloping area of thunderstorms here through Franklin County and Sebastian County, and that is moving into western Arkansas. Right now, we still have for Sebastian County a tornado warning for this general area right there. Sebastian County is under a tornado warning. But to answer your question, we're waiting patiently for an upper level low pressure area to help push this entire area eastbound a little bit and move it out. But right now, we're not seeing that developing. So again, we're going to see heavy rains over a prolonged period of time and severe weather to continue to be a problem throughout the nighttime hours. Karen?
All right, Ned, thank you. Meantime, new information coming in from the Office of Emergency Services, Terry Magsom with the OES. This is what we can tell you so far. 12 counties do have verified damage. That's just so far, of course, and we'll expect that number to rise. Greene County is one of the hardest hit, with 15 homes sustaining damage there. A shelter has been set up in Greene County in Delaplane at the school there. So take note, if you know some folks in the Greene County area, in Delaplane at the school there is a shelter, and the Red Cross is on the scene there. In Clay County, about 9 homes have reported, folks who live there have reported damage so far. 10 homes have sustained damage in Wheatley. A fatality, as Ned mentioned, has been confirmed now in White County. That was in Center Hill. One fatality confirmed. Downtown Beebe, we understand, has sustained some heavy damage. 6 injuries also reported in Faulkner County. Shortly, we're going to take you live back to the Harvest Foods, which is one of the areas we have seen in Little Rock that has had some major damage. You saw the brick wall having fallen over, the inventory of the store just strewn about everywhere. We're happy to report, too, that we are now back on our non-cable stations. We had an outage earlier this evening and were only visible in parts of the state that could receive their cable at that time. But we are back up and running, and we're happy about that. So just to update the folks who've not been with us, the Piggott Airport, we're told, is destroyed up in northeast Arkansas. In Little Rock, we have several reports of damage, but some unusual situations taking place. 317 West 21st Street, we're told a person has been trapped inside of a house after a tree fell on the house. At 9th and the freeway around that area, the Waffle House, the Pizza Hut, the Shell Station have all been damaged. Power outages reported there as well. Now you're seeing video, for those of you who have not been with us, of 17th and Main Streets in Little Rock. This is the Harvest Foods grocery store. The ceiling has all but collapsed. Damage to the store is intense, and earlier this evening there was one man trapped inside in what our reporter on the scene described as the pharmacy area. It was one man, and we're not sure yet if it was a customer perhaps or someone working in the Harvest Foods at the time. The rest of the employees, according to an eyewitness, went down to the basement and sought shelter there. But the good news is this man has since been taken out. He was cognizant. He was speaking to the rescue crews. One note on the rescue efforts going on in Little Rock tonight. Because of the ongoing storms, which are dissipating, fortunately, the two-way radio communication between the police and the rescue crews has been hampered somewhat. It works similar to a cellular phone in that your signal may fade and you just aren't able to communicate when the storm is moving through. Harvest Foods is one of the worst spots we've seen, but there are some other places to be aware of in the Little Rock area. I-30 westbound, the Arch Street overpass, an 18-wheeler has overturned. On I-40, 5 trucks, we're told, have overturned near exit 161, just east of Little Rock. We've also shown you video tonight from a crew we have in Jefferson County, Pastoria on South Pack Road, a home destroyed there and one minor injury associated with that. 2600 South Ringo, a house damaged. There it is, that video I just spoke of in Jefferson County in Pastoria. 3201 West 55th, a car had some damage. Also in Little Rock, a car with a person inside had a tree fall on top of it, and so this person was trapped. We're waiting for word on whether they have been rescued. In Jefferson County, this is that home on South Peck Road in Pastoria, demolished. All but a few bricks remain, and the structure of this home. As far as we can tell from our reports on that scene, no serious injuries were reported. We are so thankful for that. The folks at this home do have a storm cellar, and we are hoping that if they were in fact home, they were able to seek shelter there. Some signs have been blown along the highways of I-30 and 440. If you must get out tonight, be aware that some debris could be flying about. So far, this death in White County is the only one we are having confirmed from authorities. That occurred in Center Hill. Right now, White County, too, experiencing heavy storms and a tornado warning as well. Tornado warnings have been lifted for Pulaski, Lone Oak, and Saline counties. Flash flooding is now occurring in northeast Arkansas in Independence and Cleburne counties. In Little Rock, we've had well over an inch of rain, and it came quickly, and that's the problem you have with flash flooding. So low-lying areas, be aware if you do have to get out. And as we watch the storm go along tonight, there could be even more flooding to report to you. Other notes we have as you take a look at this video as well, and we wait for our live uplink to be connected for us at the Harvest Foods. We actually have the Harvest Foods rescue on the air now. This is our Steve Powell, who has been out at the scene. Steve, look at the emotion. You can only imagine what these folks are feeling. All right, pardon me, folks. This is video, actually. We are not yet establishing our live contact, but again, you did see some new video from the Harvest Foods. You can see the emotions of the folks who were working there at the time. This did happen during business hours. Fortunately, all of them, except for one man who possibly could have been a customer, we aren't certain at this point, did seek shelter in the basement. You're seeing raw footage that has not yet been edited, so bear with us. We simply want to get you the pictures as soon as we can. We wanted to also let you hear some of the atmosphere out at the Harvest Foods at 17th and Main as now the cleanup begins. Having rescued the one person trapped inside, he is en route, if not already arriving, at a local hospital. We'll stay with this and let you listen to the atmosphere as police determine exactly where to start and where to begin the massive cleanup that they have facing them tonight.
Go sideways right here. Sure they don't want you sharing? No, too far. Let's go all over the parking lot. Give us stability. Hang on up there. There we go. Good. Your mic, you can on the board. Right there.
There you see the dramatic rescue of the gentleman who was trapped inside the Harvest Foods at 17th and Main earlier this evening. In times like this, you search for any bit of good news, and we're told that he was cognizant. He was speaking to the rescue crews, and he did have his wits about him. He was able to communicate where the pain was and what he needed from them, and we're certain that he has since arrived at the local hospital. Back to Ned now for a new tornado warning. Ned.
Not only one, Karen, but we have 3 or 4, actually. I told you not to get your guard down. These are popping once again and in the same general areas. Let's take a look at live Doppler 7 radar, and then we'll show you our map that we have. We do have 3 new, 4 new tornado warnings. The strongest, or the first that we're going to talk about, is again up in Independence and Jackson County. Independence and Jackson County in north central and northeastern Arkansas until 8:55 tonight are under tornado warnings. Doppler weather radar is indicating the storm right here that you can see is located right where the Highway 67-167 sign is located approximately 20 miles southwest of Newport, or about 7 miles southwest of Possum Grape, is moving northeast. It will be moving toward Bradford, Possum Grape, Grand Glaze, Ingleside, Schaffner, and Auvergne. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Again, also Jacksonport, Newport, also under the gun because that storm is moving in that direction. That is for Independence and Jackson County. Now let's go over to Monroe County. We have in Monroe County a brand new tornado warning. This warning for Monroe County has just been issued and will remain in effect until 8:55. Once again, residents of Monroe County, particularly northeastern Monroe County, moving toward the Forest City area and toward St. Francis County. This storm is moving northeast also at 45 miles per hour. It's located in the vicinity or just southeast of Clarendon, and it's moving in a direction that will take this storm, producing a possible tornado near Garrett Grove, Goodwin, Holub, Palestine, and Haines, Arkansas, as well as Pine City. That is also in the path of that storm. So Monroe County until 8:55. Next, in southeastern Arkansas, Chico County. Chico County in southeastern Arkansas is under a tornado warning until 8:55 as well. That's in extreme southeastern Chico County. A storm 9 miles west of Greenville or near Lake Village. Very close to our friends in Lake Village. This storm is moving toward Greenville and on into Mississippi, but a tornado warning remains in effect and could be affecting the area near Lake Village or just south of Lake Village, and then on into Mississippi near Greenville, Ashley Crossing, and Burdett and Metcalf. And we do have a number of viewers of Channel 7 News in extreme northwestern sections of Mississippi as well. So we have to be very cognizant of those storms as they track out of Arkansas into our viewing area in Mississippi. So that's the latest that we have. Again, to reiterate and show you our latest map that we have, Independence County, Jackson County, just issued and in effect until 8:55. Monroe County, just issued tornado warning in effect until 8:55. And also Chico County, just issued and in effect until 8:55 tonight. We also had late word, Karen, and I know you're handling a lot of the damage reports, and you might want to jot this one down, that a tornado in White County, because White County has been a hard hit tonight, tornado at Ward in, I believe White County is in, is in White County. I may be wrong, I believe it is. A off-duty police officer reported that at Sally Street in Ward, a tornado did touch down and has moved his trailer as well as several off their foundations in that area, but he could not confirm any other injuries with those storms. But that was a tornado at Ward tonight at Sally Street, and that was reported by an off-duty police officer in the area. Again, from Cabot to Beebe to Searcy, very strong thunderstorms in through White County, where tornado warnings remain in effect. Also, the area shaded in purple, flash flood warnings, 2 to 3 inches, and rain still coming down. And severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect for Lonoke County and Pulaski County, as well as Clark County, Pike County, and Hempstead County in southwestern Arkansas. We'll continue to monitor live Doppler 7 radar and keep you abreast of this rapidly changing weather situation in the state. And Karen, will throw it back to you, and we'll be right here to let you know additional warnings and where they are and which way they're going.
All right, Ned, we appreciate that, and we'll see you in a bit. We have been talking tonight about heavy damage reported at I-30 and 9th Street. Channel 7's Jason Peterson has made his way from Faulkner County back to that area now and is standing by live at I-30 and 9th with more on what's happening out there. Jason, what can you tell us?
Well, Karen, first of all, the good news, there are several businesses and homes injured or destroyed or damaged in this area, but no significant injuries that I've been able to learn. There was a 9-year-old boy, the son of an assistant manager at the Waffle House here behind me, that was taken to the hospital. He was complaining of leg pains. Just about 6:30, there were about 20 customers in this Waffle House, and they said that it started to hail, it started to rain very hard, and then boom, they say the boom, 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 the windows started going out, hail started coming down, everybody hit the floor. As I said, the good news is no serious injuries. Another major damage that you cannot see is down onto Interstate 30. The signs that signal that you can exit to 630 or continue on I-30 towards Pine Bluff was totally blown down. It was blocking the roadway for a time. They have cleared it out. They're waiting for front-end loaders to come. I-30 westbound or traveling south is down to 2 lanes of traffic, moving very slowly tonight. And across the interstate are where there's many homes that have been damaged by these storms. I have not been over in that area to see if there were any injuries, but there are many homes on that side, many businesses, including Pizza Hut and a Shell station on this side of Interstate 30. So a whole lot of activity going on, a lot of police officers, state troopers, a lot of people milling around wondering if their loved ones or friends were in the Waffle House, and if they were, where are they now?
Jason, what can you tell us about the power out there from a flashlight and the camera light? Other than that, it doesn't look like there are any lights.
No, there's power in Quapaw Towers and the Best Western over to my left, but everything, the Shell station, the Waffle House, the Pizza Hut, and on down is total blackness on this side of the street, as well as on the other side of Interstate 30, total blackness. All I can see over there are police lights and taillights from cars stopped trying to go down 9th Street. So no electricity, and thankfully, on this side of the street, no residents out of their homes, but on the other side, and we hope to get over there in a few minutes, we'll see what kind of activity or damage is over on that side of Interstate 30.
Jason, you have done great work for us tonight and earlier reported live from Faulkner County, so you've been out on the roads. Are you finding that people are actually out driving tonight? Yeah,
we drove back just within the last hour from Conway, from Faulkner County. There were still a lot of 18-wheelers and quite a few cars and trucks on the road, and the wind was incredible, blowing our live truck all over the road coming back. The rain wasn't that heavy, but the wind was quite strong, and it's my understanding that several semi-tractor trailers, at least 4 I heard, have been blown down in this wind. So there was strong wind. It's nice here in Little Rock right now. It's calm, it's mild, but a lot of cleaning up to do all over.
Jason, you're right. In fact, it was 5 trucks that overturned on I-40 on the exit at 161 just east of Little Rock. You're so right. What can you tell us, too, about Faulkner County? When you were there, we heard reports of injuries being taken to the hospital.
There was a family of 5 that was at Conway Regional Medical Center. We were waiting to interview them when we were called back to Little Rock. It's my understanding that 2 of those family members will be kept overnight. All of them are being treated for minor cuts and injuries, bumps and bruises, but those were the only 5 reported injuries, or at least the only 5 injured that were being treated at the hospital. They were from the Mount Vernon area. Bull Mountain Road was where their trailer home was thrown about and destroyed. So that family of 5 being treated, but no other major injuries in Faulkner County that we're aware of.
Jason, earlier this evening we had an interesting development. We actually ordered pizza from the Pizza Hut that is nearby where you are and received a phone call back that the place had actually been destroyed. What kind of damage are you seeing there?
Well, it's not as bad as the Waffle House, but it's significant damage. I'm not surprised that Pizza Hut didn't make that delivery tonight. They're going to be out of business for quite some time. Over there, like as in the Waffle House, windows shattered. Waffle Houses, as you know, have a lot of windows, so there's much more damage, windows shattered at this Waffle House than there is the Pizza Hut. But you know, half the sign of Pizza Hut's gone. The whole sign is gone over here, as well as the Waffle House sign, so significant damage to both buildings.
Jason, can you tell us where you're planning to go next?
Well, I'd like to go across Interstate 30, where I've been told several residences were damaged. I'm told that's the most significant damage in this area, so we're going to trek over just across Interstate 30 where the police lights are and see what kind of damage is over there. Hopefully no significant injuries there either.
It also looks as though the rain has stopped.
Yeah, it's not raining at all. Like I said, it's mild, and people are exchanging horror stories out here right now.
All right, Jason Peterson reporting live tonight from I-30 and 9th Streets. We thank you so much, and we'll dispatch you to your next location. While we're awaiting another live report for you this evening, I'll just go ahead and bring you up to date on the damage reports we have and the injuries as well. The most serious we have is a fatality reported from Center Hill in White County. Also, we have, as Jason mentioned, the 6 injuries reported taken to the Conway Hospital in Faulkner County. Those were from the Greenbrier area, actually Mount Vernon and Hall Mountain area near the White County line. While I go over the list of the damage and injury reports, we'll let you see again the rescue and cleanup effort actually that's going on at the Harvest Foods over at 17th and Main in Little Rock. According to Terry Maxim of the OES, 12 counties have verified damage in Arkansas tonight. That number will likely rise. Greene County is one of the hardest hit. 15 homes there sustained damage. For those of you who are now back with us after the earlier television failure and have your television sets back operated and running now, a shelter is set up in Delaplane at the school in Greene County. We're going to show you more I-30 damage as well coming up in just a moment. We've had more damage reports coming up from I-30. As Jason mentioned, take a look at this sign. That is what's happening. The winds are so high that signs are actually being blown onto the highway. It's a dangerous situation if you're out there driving. Along I-30 and 440, signs blown into the interstate as well. That gives you some idea of how powerful these winds have been. All appears to be fairly quiet in Little Rock right now at this hour. Tornado warnings have been lifted for Pulaski, Lone Oak, and Saline counties. The bulk of the storm appears to be now north of us in central Arkansas, headed northern White County. Downtown Beebe has reported extensive damage too. Take a look at that. The sign completely ripped off of its foundation. Not surprising given the high winds and even some hail reported. Baseball-size hail reported to us from Faulkner County earlier tonight. One man described it as holding a fist, a piece of hail that size, and he in fact took some into his refrigerator to save for us perhaps tomorrow if that would be of interest to our viewers. Tonight we're concerned with the damage, the ongoing storms, the injury reports coming in, and pass those along to you as quickly as we can. Updating our Harvest Food story, you saw that powerful, dramatic video of the man being brought out of Harvest Foods. As far as we can tell, he's doing well. He is aware of his situation and was talking to the rescue crews. So now let's go back out to our Steve Powell, who's been at the Harvest Food this evening. Steve, what do you have for us now?
Well, I'm here with the governor, Karen. Obviously, the governor's mansion just a block or so away. First of all, let me ask, everybody okay over there?
Yeah, we were okay, and the neighbors were okay. We had a lot of damage to the grounds. A lot of trees are up, most of the trees, and most of the fences are gone. A lot of our neighbors, their roofs are gone, but we haven't been able to determine that anyone's injured. We're just grateful to God right now that the injury and fatality report is as low as it is.
Yeah, so far so good. What were you and the First Lady doing at the time?
Well, Janet is actually with the First Lady of Oklahoma in Oklahoma City, so I was at the Hotze house a block away, right between Harvest Foods. It was really destroyed in the mansion when it happened, and then we went back to the mansion and then saw the damage there and started going out in the neighborhood to see, you know, how our neighbors were doing and if they were okay, and everybody was in the street just kind of assessing how folks were.
So early, hard to assess damage at this early hour, but it certainly brings back memories of March 1st.
Oh, it really does. It's just a horrible sort of deja vu. And you know, in our first contacts with OES a few minutes ago, we know we've been hit already by 13 counties and in 13 counties with tornadoes. One fatality confirmed, and right now a number of injuries, but not a confirmed number. When we're still trying to get reports in from all over the state.
Your plans for the near future tomorrow?
Bud Harper, OES director, and I will be meeting early in the morning. We'll look at overnight damage assessments and begin surveying the damage across the state to begin deciding which areas need to be declared a disaster area, and we'll be moving in as much equipment and personnel as we can to start working on the cleanup and recovery.
It never fails to take your breath away when you see something like this.
It's unbelievable, and I think we're always stunned by the devastation of the tornado and equally stunned by the miraculous survival of human life. And you just have to say, you know, God really was watching after some people tonight. There's no other way to depict it. When you look at some of the destruction, you think of a few inches here, a few feet there, and we'd have a lot more fatalities than we're even reporting.
Well, we're glad you're okay. Thanks for talking to us, and I appreciate it. I know you got to get home and make sure everything else is okay.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Yeah, as you can see, we are at the Harvest Food, Karen, and there are still lots of folks over there, and there are still standing around really just, I think, to watch, not necessarily. I don't think there's anybody else trapped inside, thankfully. So I think their work is done here. We'll be back, of course, a little bit later.
Steve, we're going to keep you with us for a moment as we await Pamela Smith, who's in St. Francis County tonight. Actually, right now, Steve, we're going to check in with Ned. We have obviously new information to pass along to our viewers. Ned.
Karen, we have a brand new tornado warning. This one has been issued again for White County. White County has been extremely hard hit. By the way, I made the mistake just a moment ago when we talked about the damage in Ward, Arkansas, and I wasn't sure whether Ward was on the White County line or in White County or Lonoke County. Ward is actually almost on the line, but it is in Lonoke County. So we did want to make that correction. Right now, White County is under a tornado warning, and this tornado warning for White County remains in effect until about 9:15. As we can go ahead and zoom in to White County, and we'll show you that this storm is located just to the southeast of Searcy by about 7 miles southeast of Searcy, and in this general area here. We're going to put a track. It's moving northeast 45 miles an hour, as all these storms seem to be, and it is moving in a direction that will affect these towns at these times. Because they're moving fast, we want to reiterate for these people to take cover immediately in Kensett, West Point, Judsonia, Bald Knob, Worden, and Russell. Kensett, West Point, Judsonia, Bald Knob, Worden, and Russell. These storms are on a path toward your general vicinity, and they are moving very, very fast. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit further and take a look at some streets and that might be affected out ahead of the storm. This particular one here, again, these storms are just east of the Searcy area, and New Liberty Valley Road is one of them here. That's a area where this storm will be moving into. New Liberty Valley Road. Also, Luttrell, I believe, is the name of this road that runs between Kensett and West Point. Luttrell, which runs between Kensett and West Point. We're trying to find some additional roadways here. Might be helpful to give you again a little better perspective as where we're looking at. And again, possibly a good thing, some of these roads are in very rural areas, so this is a very rural area, so we're not finding a lot of significant highways for you at the present time. Anyway, we will continue to monitor that, and again, White County under a tornado warning and will remain in effect until 9:15 tonight. Also, Clay County in extreme eastern Arkansas is now under a tornado warning. That is moving into a path that will take it into Greene County. It's located northeast of Walcott. Moving northeast is about 45 miles an hour. This tornado is actually near Marmaduke, and it is moving northeast and will be affecting Rector, Piggott, and Pollard. Tornado watch for Arkansas has now been extended to 3 a.m. I do want to mention that. I mentioned earlier that the watch that was in effect until 10 will probably be extended, and it has been. The watch is now in effect until 3 o'clock in the morning that covers all of Arkansas, western Mississippi, and western Tennessee. The latest warning, again, has just been issued for White County until 9:15. Worden, Russell, Bradford, areas that are going to be affected by that storm. Also, we're seeing redevelopment down in through southern Garland County and Hot Spring County, as well as another cluster of thunderstorms that will be moving into northern sections of Clark County out of Pike County, and these will be moving toward Amity and Alpine and the Lake DeGray area. So again, the latest tornado warning that we have for you is for White County. Also, thunderstorms redeveloping in west central Arkansas include tornado warnings for Franklin County, southeastern Sebastian County, and these two will be in effect until 9 o'clock. Just north of Clarksville, just north of Boonville, very strong thunderstorms possibly producing tornado activity. That's the latest that we have for you, and don't forget, White County is still under that warning and will remain so until about 9:15 tonight, and we will have additional information, Karen, coming up as we see these thunderstorms pulsating up.
All right, Ned, we thank you for the update. We are going to show you video shortly of a situation on Roosevelt and Gaines in Little Rock in the 2200 block. 3 people we're told were trapped inside of a house there. We have told you about this earlier in the evening, coupled with a car entrapment at 2425 South Gaines. But on the 2200 block, you're seeing now rescue crews working to remove the 3 people trapped inside. We'll let you listen to a little bit of the rescue efforts and get a feel for what's going on. This is at 22nd and Gaines in Little Rock. There you see the rescue crews trying to move through with their gurneys, taking 1 person into the ambulance. Folks from the areas have just turned out to watch, to help in any way they can. The community support has been wonderful this evening. We're also getting reports now from Entergy. James Thompson, who is the public information officer for Entergy, tells us that they are assessing the damage all across the state. The crews are still out there doing that right now, as a matter of fact. They are also out to repair the downed lines wherever they can. As we know from the earlier ice storm this year, it is a tedious process. It takes quite a bit of time. So if your power is out and you are with friends, know that they're doing everything they can. Multiple transmission lines are apparently down. Entergy is asking that people stay away from downed power lines if you spot one. But that's common sense, and you know that. But also put off any tree cutting or repair of the trees at your home. If you do have a tree down, please put off the repairs until you can assess whether there is in fact a power line nearby. Outages are being reported throughout central Arkansas and across the state as the storms have moved through. Entergy crews are out assessing the damage and beginning the process of repairing those downed lines. Here's a telephone number for you, 1-800-9-OUTAGE, 1-800-968-8243. If you need to report an outage or get information on the possible repair of an outage in your area, keep this in mind. As we talk tonight about the damage and the injuries, a note to folks who are in Greene County tonight. A shelter has been set up at the Delaplane School that is in Greene County. Now let's head back out to 17th and Main, where Steve Powell is standing by with an update on the massive damage and destruction there. Steve.
Yeah, Karen, you're exactly right. That is massive damage is about the only way you can describe it. Just talked to police officials. They tell me that 2 or 3 people were trapped inside the building, injured, 1 perhaps seriously, very seriously. We're waiting further word on that. Also, we're not quite out of the woods yet. I said earlier that it looked like no one else was trapped. What they're doing actually is waiting on some heavier equipment to come in here and possibly move some of the heavier rubble to see if indeed someone else is trapped in there. So still got our fingers crossed here. It's obviously a terrible scene. As you can see, the folks still milling about. A lot of curiosity seekers, unfortunately. If this is an area of town you just really don't want to come down to, all the traffic lights are out, all the power's off, stay home. It's much better to make it a lot easier for these folks to do their job. I got Fred Davis over here, who unfortunately was inside when the tornado struck. Fortunately, he's doing much better. But first of all, before we talk to you, Fred, we've got a tornado warning. I think we're going to go back to Ned.
Okay, thank you, Steve. We have a brand new tornado warning that's just been issued for Hempstead County, northern Hempstead County, in the vicinity of Hope, Arkansas. Let's take a look at it, and we'll show you that we do have a possible tornado-producing thunderstorm near Blevins, Arkansas, which is in northern Hempstead County. Now, this warning will remain in effect for northern Hempstead County until 9 o'clock tonight. Radar is indicating thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Blevins. The thunderstorm is moving again northeast at 45 miles an hour. We'll be moving in a direction toward Arkadelphia, which also will pass through before it moves into Arkadelphia. Antone, Okolona, Hollywood, DeGray, Arkadelphia, and Cato Valley. Again, a very strong thunderstorm with rotation being seen on live Doppler 7 radar. We'll try to go in a little closer to the storm and give you a little better perspective that it is the strongest area right there in purple is what we're looking at. And this is going to be moving towards State Highway 26 and right in through State Highway 51. Let's give you a perspective, which is the highway systems, State Highway 182. That gives you kind of an idea of the highways running into and around this potential tornado-producing thunderstorm. So we do have that for Hempstead County, and it will remain in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. Also, St. Francis County, which is in northeastern Arkansas, in the vicinity of Forest City, and that is where we're looking at right now. This thunderstorm, the strongest rotation is just south of Interstate 40, which runs just north of the Forest City area. It's moving also northeast at 45 miles an hour. We'll be moving through Forest City, Madison, Widener, Hicks Station, Whitmore, and Heath, Arkansas. So that tornado warning is now in effect for St. Francis County, and it will remain in effect until 9:20. We don't want to lose track of that storm in White County. That White County storm is also in effect, possible tornado-producing storm until 9:15, taking it toward Velvet Ridge and then on toward Russell and Bradford within the next few minutes. That's the one in White County, in the vicinity south of Searcy, and one just north of Bald Knob between Beebe and Searcy. And this thunderstorm possibly producing a tornado and could possibly be moving toward or just east of the Searcy area. That's the latest that we have right now as far as brand new warnings that have been issued for our region. Storm spotters, by the way, did report just a moment ago, or I should say earlier this afternoon, confirmation of a tornado on the ground that was in the Jonesboro area approaching Greene County. That was earlier this afternoon. Karen, that's the latest that we have for you, and we are going to go back now to our live report from Steve Powell, who's standing by. Steve?
Hey, thank you, Ned. I was here with Fred Davis, who was inside when he was inside buying flowers, actually, Fred, right?
Yes, sir.
Describe what happened.
Yes, sir, all I know, I was in there buying some flowers, and I was coming through the line, and next thing I know, I was shaking, I heard the cold wind, and I looked out, all the lights was blinking off and on, and my mind told me to get out.
You have a unique perspective. You were actually in the College Station tornadoes of March 1st, right? So it was deja vu, huh?
Yes, I said not again. And so my mind told me to get out, so I left the flowers and left everything and left my money also on the inside. And it was just the grace of the good Lord that got me outside.
Were people screaming? Were they running, taking cover? What were they doing?
They was hollering, and girls at the cashier was panicking, and I didn't have time to help no one. I just got out of there.
Fred, we're glad you made it through, and too many tornadoes for you, my friend.
I know, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. Megan Stone is also here with me, if we can talk to her for just a second, and she's just joined me, and that's no small task. She's been all over the state so far this night, and not easy to get to this spot. Thanks for coming here, and tell us what you've seen.
Well, it was not easy at all. You know, there's still tornado warnings and watches popping up all over the state, as we've heard, and I tell you what, Stephen Phillips, a photographer that I've been with, and I can certainly attest to that, Little Rock is very calm right now as far as the weather is concerned, as opposed to the entire area around it. We went up towards Mount Vernon earlier today, where they had some damage. A couple of tornadoes supposedly touched down there. We didn't make it all the way, so we didn't see too much of the damage there. We're also in Cabot for a while. Then we went from Cabot towards Carlisle, where from Carlisle to Lone Oak and that whole area, no electricity. Some tornadoes did touch down there, according to the locals there, and no electricity. It's incredibly dark, and sirens were still going off about 45 minutes ago when we were there. As we were driving back down Interstate 40, though, back into Little Rock, we saw the path of this exact tornado where it crossed Interstate 40 at about Galloway. It's incredible, Steve. There were 18-wheelers that looked like just matchsticks thrown all over the place. It literally went across the freeway and picked up the 18-wheelers and threw them all over the place. Luckily, no one was injured miraculously in that entire wreck.
Yeah, it's so early to tell, and again, we have our fingers crossed when daylight comes that the injuries are still as low as they were. We heard reports of softball-sized hail, baseball-sized hail. Did you see any of that?
Luckily, we did not see any of that. When we stopped in Cabot for a little bit, we talked to some people there, and they had seen some severe hail. Luckily, a lot of the people that we talked to, too, had been in basements. And, you know, a lot of the people outside of the Little Rock area, I think they still need to stay in the basements, at least from what we saw. We certainly wanted to get the heck out of the area where we were and get back here to Little Rock to help out a little bit.
Megan, thank you very much. We're glad you made it back here. And, of course, as I mentioned, we're not out of the woods here yet. They're waiting on heavy equipment to see if perhaps someone else is trapped in there. We hope not, but back to you, Karen.
And we do as well. Our thoughts and prayers are with the folks out there. Steve, thank you for your update, and we'll check in with you as the situation warrants. Now we want to take you live to St. Francis County, where our Pamela Smith is standing by. And Pam, I understand you have quite a show for us, funnel cloud out there.
Actually, quite amazing video, Karen, that we're going to show you very shortly. But fear was the sentiment most felt here earlier. Now it is likely given way to relief and a feeling of thankfulness after the devastation that passed through the St. Francis area, the St. Francis County area, I should say. We are in Wheatley at the junction of Highway 70 and 78, and the devastation here is absolutely incredible. We want to show you now some home video that was taken by Donna Hennard, excuse me, Donna, come on over and talk with us. She was actually inside her home at the time the storm passed through. Tell us what you saw.
I looked out the window. My husband called me and told me it was coming. And I looked out the window and I had a camcorder set up in the living room, and I ran and got it. And the one they were watching is not the one that hit it. It formed right about 300 yards outside of my window, and I just left the camcorder running and got in the closet and started praying.
So have you ever lived through anything like this?
I've never seen a tornado before in my life, and I hope to God I never see another one.
And how would you describe exactly what our viewers are looking at now?
Stark terror. It just formed outside my window, and it came across the back of my house. It went southeast behind my house, and it hit the housing development right here behind me. One of the survivors is at my house now. She ran next door to a neighbor's house, and they all got in the bathroom. And then as soon as they got in the bathroom, it hit, and it just wiped Miss Watson's house just completely flat. But thank God they're all right.
Yeah, and we're thankful that you're all right, too. Thank you so much for sharing your video with us. And we will have more of that for you just a little bit later. But as we drove through the intersection where most of the homes were destroyed, officials there tell us there are about 12 homes destroyed, 8 people injured, although we are not certain of their conditions. We don't believe any of those injuries are major, but again, we have not confirmed that. Quite a bit of devastation. We saw houses removed from their foundations. We saw mobile homes turned upside down, cars turned upside down. In fact, we saw where a fan that should have been on the floor was hanging from the ceiling. So quite a bit of devastation here in the St. Francis County area. They do have a power outage here as well. As you heard Karen mention earlier, that energy crews are out and about on the scene trying to restore power and to take care of those down power lines, because there were several of them that were in the tornado's wake, or in the tornado's path, I should say. Karen?
Pam, we want to know, too, what it's like out there right now. It looks as though the conditions have quieted down somewhat.
Well, the conditions have quieted down, but there's still a little bit of fear that something else could crop up even later tonight, Karen. So there's a feeling of dread here, although, as I said earlier, there's also a feeling of relief that no one lost their life here. They did have rescue crews out earlier. They were going from house to house checking just to make sure people were okay, and they do believe that they have everyone out.
Pam, are you hearing any reports of a shelter set up in Wheatley, or is that necessary at this point?
We have not been able to get any of that information, but we were told that the mayor arrived on the scene just a few moments ago, and we hope to have the opportunity to visit with him and to give you that information.
All right, Pamela Smith reporting live from News Star 7 tonight from Wheatley in St. Francis County. We will check back in with you and get an update later on. A note to pass along, the AEDD in Little Rock, that is a group home, has sustained some damage, but all of the clients are fine and they're being taken to hotels. No injuries reported from the AEDD that is on 22nd Street in Little Rock, but the building itself did sustain some damage and the clients are being taken to nearby hotels. No injuries reported. If you have a loved one there, we want you to know that they are fine but being moved. Other damage reports coming in from Beebe. We have had several calls to the Channel 7 newsroom, folks telling us the damage there is extensive. You can imagine Beebe has a downtown area, and in Little Rock, in the downtown area, actually near the Quapaw region, we had a phone call earlier tonight from one of our employees in that area telling us about downed trees. Entergy, as they make their assessment and begin to restore the power lines, do also want us to pass along that if you have a downed tree in your street or in your backyard perhaps, please don't touch it unless you know that it is secure, and that means that there are no power lines around, because the power lines can stay, of course, hot, as they call it, and could injure you if you do try to move that tree. So they're asking that you save all tree cutting and repair for tomorrow perhaps, or at least let the Entergy crews do it themselves if it's on public property. We do have a telephone number that we can pass along to you, given to us by Entergy, to report a power outage in your area or to inquire about power outages. 1-800-9-OUTAGE is that number. Easy to remember that way. The numbers are 1-800-968-8243. James Thompson, the spokesperson for Entergy, says that crews are actually out assessing the damage and beginning the process of restoring electricity. To the Weather Center now, where Ned is standing by. Ned.
Thank you, Karen. We have another tornado warning, and this is in northeastern Arkansas, where some very active weather has been just in the last hour or so. We've been talking about White County. These thunderstorms have been tracking toward the northeast, and right now we are dealing with a tornado warning that's in effect for western Craighead, Greene, and Lawrence County in northeastern Arkansas. That's where we're going to zoom in this general area. These are those thunderstorms that are tracking out of White County up along the interstate or Highway 67, 167. This one that we're looking at in the vicinity of Tuckerman right now, or about southwest of Alicia, or 13 miles southwest of Cache, Arkansas, is moving toward the northeast at 45 miles an hour. Alicia also is in the path of this thunderstorm, as well as Tuckerman, Swifton, Egypt, Minturn, and Hoxie. So again, the tornado warning is in effect for the western sections of Craighead County, Greene County, and Lawrence County, because those are the counties that this storm is tracking into. A little closer view, you can see Alicia, Swifton, and Tuckerman right in the path of the storm, and the storm is affecting those areas right now. So until 9:30, for western Craighead, Greene, and northeastern, Greene and Lawrence County, we have a tornado warning. Also, Pulaski County, central Arkansas area, thunderstorms again continue to redevelop and intensify. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for the metropolitan Little Rock area. Radar is indicating a severe thunderstorm 11 miles northwest of Benton, or about 8 miles southwest of Ferndale, in this general area here. This storm is moving toward the northeast, again 45 miles an hour. It'll be moving toward Ferndale, Maumelle, and possibly into the Little Rock area near Camac Village. 45 miles an hour toward the northeast. That storm that is moving out of the Benton area will be moving toward Ferndale, Shady Grove by 9:03, Pinnacle, Pankey, and on into Natural Steps, and eventually toward the Pinnacle Mountain area in that general vicinity. So a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect. Now, this is not a tornado warning for the Pulaski County area. However, I do want to reiterate that we have conditions very favorable for these thunderstorms to develop into tornadoes at a moment's notice. So although this is a severe thunderstorm warning for Pulaski County, moving just north of Benton, north of Bryant toward western Pulaski County, this is not a tornado warning at the present time. We have a brand new tornado warning. This one has just been issued for Cross County. Cross County is under a tornado warning, and this until 9:35 in the vicinity of Forest City. The tornado, a possible tornado located between Palestine and Forest City in St. Francis County, is tracking into Cross County. The tornado will be moving toward Dansby, Whitmore, Heath, Chatfield, and Simsboro. Also possibly in the vicinity of Wynne, Arkansas. The northern end of this storm will be tracking toward Wynne, Arkansas, and also taking it into the vicinity of Parkin. So that is in the vicinity of Forest City and Palestine at the present time. You can see the cities surrounding and that will be affected by this storm, which includes Parkin and Earl, as well as Newcastle, Whitmore, as the storm tracks toward the northeast. So again, severe thunderstorm warning for Pulaski County, Craig, or I should say Greene, Western Craighead, and Lawrence County tornado warnings, and also a tornado warning that we just showed you for Cross County. A line of thunderstorms all the way from Arkadelphia, northern sections of Arkadelphia, in northern sections of Clark County near Amity, Alpine, to Gray Lake, all the way up to Malvern. We're looking at thunderstorms Butterfield, Rockport, all the way up to just north of Benton into the western Pulaski County area. These thunderstorms then continue to be quite strong up toward Conway and all the way up to just south of Batesville. That's the latest that we have for you, and we will continue to monitor our Doppler 7 radar, live Doppler 7 radar, and as warnings come in and the situations warrant, we'll break in right away and let you know what's going on and which way they're going. But again, these thunderstorms are very active, and the tornado watch has been extended now for much of central and eastern Arkansas until 3 o'clock in the morning. Karen?
All right, Ned, we thank you. We want to show you now more video from St. Francis County in Wheatley. A woman who happened to be alerted by her husband that the storm was coming grabbed a home video camera and set it up in her living room. And as you'll see, the storm approaches. You're going to hopefully see clearly this funnel cloud developing, dropping down. There you see it on the center left of your screen. This is home video by Donna Hennard in Wheatley, Arkansas, St. Francis County. You can see how quickly, as Ned mentioned, these move so quickly, upwards of 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. A lightning flash, and you'll see as it gets even closer, it's starting to knock out some power lines along the way and forming into a discernible funnel. I'm actually amazed that she was able to stay calm enough to continue shooting this video, but there you see it. The storm moving just to the left of this woman's home in St. Francis County. A funnel cloud developing, dropping down. Dark skies over much of the state tonight, and St. Francis County no exception. Damage reported in 13 counties. That's verifiable damage given to us in a report by Governor Huckabee, who joined our Steve Powell out at the Harvest Foods. Office of Emergency Services is reporting that Greene County is among the hardest hit counties, with 15 homes destroyed there. A shelter is set up at Delaplane School in Greene County. The Red Cross is on the scene there. In Little Rock, the AEDD group home sustained some damage. The clients are fine. They've been taken to nearby hotels. That's on 22nd Street. This is home video once again in St. Francis County in the town of Wheatley. Forest City is also in St. Francis County, to give you an idea geographically of where it is in the state. But one of many funnel clouds tonight, pardon me, and we are not out of the woods yet. Watches and warnings continue, thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings. Ned is keeping us abreast of that situation. Plenty of damage reported on local interstates, especially in central Arkansas. Our Jason Peterson told us that signs have been blown from their foundations along the highway because of the heavy winds. Flash flooding is being reported as well in mainly the northeastern part of the state, Independence and Cleburne County. And in Little Rock, we have received well over an inch of rain. No tornado warnings issued now.